So I think a lot of the bets right now are on the infrastructure, the foundational models, the hyperscalers, the things that you actually need to be able to bring these services up and running. I try and tell a lot of people, this reminds me of the internet in 1995, 1996. None of us knew that Salesforce, Google, Facebook, Meta were going to be the big dominant companies, in the 2000s. We just don't know as society when things compound this fast where the real value is going to accumulate. But we do know we need the picks and shovels to be able to build them.
Hussein, I love a lot of these new technologies. I love railways. I like getting on a train. But we all know from railways onwards, in fact, way before railways, South Sea Bubble, you name it, whatever, having a great technological idea and turning that into an exponential investment which makes you 5x, 10x, whatever x, is actually, like you're talking apples and pears here. Just because it's a great technology, I mean, Fitbit's a great case in point, GoPro's a great point. There's thousands of them out there as well. So I get it, the mania is there, but actually most of these companies will not make it. Most of the companies, you say a third of money's going, is it a third of money's going to AI?
Yeah.
I don't know, you give me a number, but probably about 90% of them won't make vast amounts of money.
It's a power law, and to be fair...
It's the power law, exactly, Malaby's book, yes.
And it's hard, right? Venture capital is a hard business, and I think in 2024, everyone wants to play VC.
Everyone can do it, can't they?
And everyone thinks they can do it, but it is a difficult business, and every single time there's a fundamental transformation, there's a ton of investor euphoria that goes into the sector.
So that is really going to mean a sorting out of the wheat and the chaff, because I have no doubt that the best people in VC will know what they're doing and are going to do this fantastically. I've read enough about it. But most people are just going to fail, aren't they?
So the pros are good at this, are exceptionally good at this. I think in markets like this, everyone thinks they can be a pro, and therein lies the rub.
How is VC spreading its bets at this point? Because we know that, so I mean, if we think about the ride-sharing business, something everybody knows something about these days, everybody's hopped in to some sort of an Uber or the like, a Free Now or something like that, a Grab. So that business was one where I think VC and early on investors spread their bets. They didn't know which one was going to work. Lyft back in the day too. How do you think about it now? Because clearly credit conditions have changed. There's not as much firepower to go around. We know haven't been as many exits. How choosy are you, or are you still just widely spreading your bets at a sector level?
I think everyone who's a professional investor in venture plays the portfolio up, the theory, which is we try and build about 20 to 40 companies to be able to take the right kind of bets in these things. It's not hundreds of bets, it's not 200 bets, it's like 20 to 40, it's pretty concentrated. And then in there, you expect one or two to really be able to make most of the money for the fund. And the good funds, it's usually the magnitude of the win. So when they get it, it's the same percentages of the win. So most of us in the professional venture world are like that. But it's when you win, you knock it out of the park in a much bigger way.
So what jumps out to me this time is that you've got large companies, large technology companies with deep pockets that don't want to be disrupted by AI. They've seen everything that's happened previously, and they are spending the money, they're hiring the experts to come up with cutting edge technology. Is it a given that they won't survive? I mean, it feels like they're placing the bet so that they can get around some of this innovation.
So this is where I think it's actually really quite tricky for a small company. The large companies are very cognizant of AI, and as a result, they're investing a ton of money into this. I'm not so sure if you're building the next foundational model, if you can go head to head against some of the bigger incumbents, unless you really scale up very, very quickly. And I think this is a real difficulty. And I think a lot of these technologies are going to be absorbed by the big players, which means that the greenfield opportunity for the small players goes away very, very quickly.